Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of the 4th of November 2022. Essence. Sweet children, the Father's direction is: spin the discus of self-realization and connect your intellects in yoga to the Father. By doing this, your sins will be absolved and your burden of sins will be removed from your head. Question: what are the specialities of this most elevated confluence age? Answer: 1. Only this confluence age is a beneficial age. It is in this age that the real meeting, which is also called the Kumbh Mela, the meeting of souls with the Supreme Soul, takes place. 2. It is only at this time that you become true Brahmins. 3. At this confluence age, you go from the land of sorrow to the land of happiness. You become liberated from sorrow. 4. At this time you receive the full knowledge of the beginning, the middle and the end of the world from the Father, the ocean of knowledge. The Father gives you new knowledge for the new world. 5. You become beautiful from ugly. Song. Take us away from this world of sin to a place of rest and comfort. Om Shanti. You sweetest children heard the song, and it is in the intellects of you children that the Iron Age truly is the world of sin. At this time, everyone continues to commit sin. The Father comes every cycle and grants you liberation and salvation. The Purifier Father comes when the impure world has to be made pure. He comes and makes you children equal to Himself. Which knowledge does the Father have? He has the knowledge of the whole cycle. You children also know this world cycle. The Father has the knowledge of how this whole cycle turns, and that is why He is called the Ocean of Knowledge. He alone is the purifier. By understanding this cycle, and by becoming spinners of the discus of self-realization, you once again become the kings and queens of heaven, rulers of the globe. Therefore, your intellects should spin this discus throughout the whole day, so that your sins can be absolved. Then, in the Golden Age, you won't spin this discus. There, you, that is, you souls, do not have the knowledge of the whole world. Neither in the Golden Age nor in the Iron Age do souls have it. Only at the Confluence Age do you receive this knowledge. The Confluence Age is praised a lot. They have Kumbh Melas. In fact, it is the Mela, meeting, of the ocean of knowledge and the rivers. That is, it is the meeting of the Supreme Soul with souls. That Kumbh Mela belongs to the path of devotion. This meeting of souls with the Supreme Soul only takes place at this beautiful, beneficial confluence age, when you become liberated from sorrow and go into happiness. This is why the Father is called the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness. Happiness lasts for half a cycle, and sorrow lasts for half a cycle. Day and night are half and half. Buildings too are new and old. There is happiness in a new home and sorrow in an old home. The world too is new and old. There is happiness for half the cycle, and then sorrow begins in the middle. After sorrow there is happiness again. How does the land of sorrow become the land of happiness? Who makes it that? No one in the whole world knows this. Human beings are in total darkness. They have given the Golden Age a long duration. If the duration of the Golden Age were that long, there would be so many people there. Not a single person can go back home. Everyone has to get together here. Only when the Father comes and shows you the way to go home can you go back. The Father comes at the confluence age and shows all of these many souls the way to go home. You know that, having gone around the cycle of 84 births, you have now come here. How many births you have taken in the Golden and Silver Ages, and who rules for how many years, is all in your intellects. In the Golden Age you are 16 celestial degrees full. Then, in the Silver Age, you are 14 degrees, and it is then the stage of descent. At this time there is a lot of sorrow. There is only sorrow in the old world. The Golden Age is called the New World, and the Iron Age is called the Old World. It is now the confluence. The old world is now to finish. The Father is making the world new. You will leave the old world and then go and sit in the new home. You say that you are making effort to go to the new home so that you can claim a high status in the new world. The Father says, simply remember me alone. He doesn't give you any other difficulty. You should somehow make time and obey his instructions. However, Maya is such that she doesn't allow you to obey him. She doesn't allow you to connect your intellects in yoga to the Father. You children made effort in the previous cycle too, and gained victory over Maya, Ravan, and that was how the Golden Age was established. To the extent that someone becomes a helper, accordingly he or she receives a prize. Therefore, you children also have to give this knowledge to your friends and relatives. The Father's directions are, remember me. Each of you has a burden of sin of half a cycle on your head, and there is no way to burn it other than by having remembrance. People say that the rivers Ganges and Jamuna are the purifiers, and they believe that they will be made pure by them. However, how can sins be cut away with water? This is the impure world, and that is why everyone calls out, O purifier, come and establish the Golden Age. No one, apart from the Father, can establish it. Therefore, this is new knowledge for the new world. It is only the one Father who gives it. Krishna didn't give knowledge. Krishna cannot be called the purifier. Only the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is the purifier, and He is beyond rebirth. You know that the land of Krishna is also called the land of Vishnu. The kingdom of Krishna is separate from the kingdom of Radhe, and then the two of them become engaged. Radhe and Krishna were not sister and brother. Brother and sister would not marry one another. These things now continue to trickle in your intellects. Previously you didn't know this. You now know that it is Radhe and Krishna who become Lakshmi and Narayan, the Empress and Emperor of Heaven. Krishna and Radhe are remembered as the Prince and Princess. Their parents don't have such a high status. Why is that? Because their parents studied less. The names of Radhe and Krishna are so well known, but it is as though their parents' names are not even mentioned. In fact, the names of those who gave birth to them should be very well known. But no, Radhe and Krishna are the highest of all. There is no one higher than them. Radhe and Krishna claim the first number, and they become the first Emperor and Empress. Although they take birth through their parents, it is their names that are higher. This has to be made to sit very clearly in your intellects. While you are sitting here, continue to spin the discus of self-realization. By spinning this discus, your sins are burnt away, that is, you cut off Ravan's head. There is the cycle of the golden, silver, copper and iron ages. At first we were deities, and then we became warriors, merchants and Shudras. We have now once again become Brahmins. We will then become deities. Baba has explained a different meaning for Om and a different meaning for Hum So. In the scriptures, they have given the same meaning to both. They believe that Om means I, the Soul, am the Supreme Soul, and the Supreme Soul is the Soul. That is wrong. The Father explains, Om means I am a soul, a child of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. I am God is not the meaning of Om. I, the Soul, am incorporeal, and my Father is also incorporeal. The father of a corporeal body is corporeal. I am a child of the Supreme Soul, and so I definitely need the kingdom of heaven. The Father has come to give us the inheritance of heaven. After half the cycle, Ravan curses you, and you therefore become unhappy and tamopradhan. Then the Father comes and gives you a blessing to make you happy. He doesn't say, may you have a long life, but he does say, remember me and all of your sins of many births, including those of this birth, will be burnt away. This is called the fire of yoga. Everyone definitely has to become impure in Ravan's kingdom. It is souls that become impure and pure. God is ever pure, and he makes everyone pure. It is Ravan that makes you impure. There are no vices in the golden age. That is the completely viceless world, and this is why people go in front of the deity idols and sing, "You are full of all virtues." They don't sing this praise in front of Shiva. The deities who were pure then became impure. This is a game. The Father creates the land of happiness. Shiva is called the Father. Saligrams are separate. When they create a sacrificial fire of Rudra, they make one big lingam. All the rest are small saligrams. We souls take 84 births. You wouldn't say that those of the other religions take 84 births. How many births would those of the Sikh religion take in 500 years? How many births do we take? The Father explains this. The top knot of Brahmins is very well known. Real Brahmins exist at the confluence age. This is the beneficial age. It is here that all of you are benefited. Ravan brings a loss, and the Father comes and benefits you. Therefore you should follow the Father's directions and bring benefit. Srimat are the versions of God Shiva. Shiv Baba doesn't take birth. He just enters someone else's body. Only if he also took sustenance could you say that he takes birth. He never takes any sustenance. He says, "Simply follow my Srimat and become the masters of heaven." I have no desire to become that. I am a Bhogta, beyond experience of the senses. Therefore, you souls should understand that Baba is explaining to you. It is souls that understand. It is souls that become barristers or engineers. I am so and so. The soul said, "I was a deity, and after taking 8 births, I became a warrior. Then I took 12 births, and after that I continued to become impure." The Father says, "Children, may you be soul conscious." These matters have to be understood. The soul says, "When I was in the golden age, I was a great soul. Then, in the Iron Age, I became a greatly sinful soul. The greatest of all great souls is the one Supreme Soul who is ever pure. Here, human beings don't remain ever pure. It is only in the land of happiness that they always remain pure. Even in the Silver Age, there are fewer degrees. It is now our stage of ascent, and we are becoming the masters of heaven. Then, when we go into the Silver Age, there will be 2 degrees fewer. Then, in the Copper Age, when there is the eclipse by the 5 vices, we continue to become ugly. The Father says, "Now donate those 5 vices, and the eclipse will be removed, and you will become golden-aged, perfect deities." First of all, let go of body consciousness. Donate the vice of lust. At the end, you have to become destroyers of attachment. You souls have now remembered that you truly have experienced 84 births. Ravan cursed you in the Copper Age, and that is why everyone is unhappy. Would the kings and queens of the Copper Age not fall ill? That too is sorrow, is it not? This is the world of sorrow. The Golden Age is the land of happiness. Therefore, obey God's Srimat. Those who don't obey the directions of the Unlimited Father are called greatly unworthy souls. What inheritance would unworthy children receive from the Father? Worthy children claim a good inheritance. They become pure themselves and enable others to become pure. The Unlimited Father is teaching you souls. O souls, are you listening with your ears? You say, yes, Baba, I will follow your Srimat and definitely become elevated. Since God is the highest on high, He would definitely also give you the highest on high status, would He not? He gives you the inheritance of heaven for half a cycle. You receive a limited inheritance from a worldly father. That is temporary happiness. In the Iron Age, happiness is like the droppings of a crow, and that is why sannyasis leave their homes. They don't believe in the household religion. There is the household religion in the Golden Age. You know that by studying this, you go to the land of Vishnu, and that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is teaching us for that. Devotees don't know who God is, what His task is, or how He makes impure ones pure. You are now becoming pure. People of the world remember that Purifier Father. You are now standing at the Confluence Age. All the rest are in the Iron Age. Those people believe that the Iron Age is still in its infancy. You know that the Iron Age is now about to be destroyed. You now have to go to the Golden Age. The Father has reminded you, I give you the inheritance every cycle. Therefore, you should claim your full inheritance. The Father doesn't tell you to just sit here. You may live at home, but simply continue to spin the discus of self-realization and become destroyers of attachment. Belong to one Shiv Baba and none other. We know that we are now forging a new relationship, and so there shouldn't be any attachment to the old ones. Have attachment to the new world and the new kingdom. Death is now just over your heads. Preparations for that continue to be made. There is no untimely death in the Golden Age. When it is the right time, you shed your old skins, bodies, and take other new ones. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bap-Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence Vedana 1. Spin the discus of self-realization and become a complete destroyer of attachment. Death is just over your head. Therefore, remove your attachment from everyone. 2. In order to claim your inheritance from the Father, follow Srimat fully. Be soul-conscious and become a worthy child. Blessing. May you be a server free from obstacles by constantly keeping your mind and intellect busy doing service. To the extent that you have zeal and enthusiasm for doing service, you accordingly stay free from obstacles because your intellect keeps busy doing service. If you keep it empty, there is a chance for something to enter, but by keeping yourself busy, you easily become free from obstacles. In order to keep your mind and intellect busy, make a timetable for yourself. In order to put the aim you keep for yourself and for service into a practical form, you definitely need to pay attention every now and then. Do not let your attention change into tension. When there is tension, there is difficulty. Slogan: the blessings you receive from doing service are the way to stay healthy. Om Shanti.